terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible. That's when the Royal Rumble winners gradually stopped being in the main event of WrestleMania, except for Roman. Then you have Batista come back. Yes, it's another old guy buying a bid for the Royal Rumble, which initially is supposed to have been one-on-one Randy Orton Batista. But with the fans' outrage of the Daniel Bryan situation, they put Daniel Bryan into the Royal Rumble. Into the main event gradually at WrestleMania. And Daniel Bryan got his WrestleMania moment. The thing with last year with Roman Reigns winning, it was totally built wrong. The Rumble from start to finish last year was totally built wrong. Entrants were not right at all. You had Titus O'Neil come out at 28 to have him and have Dolph Ziggler come out at 30 with no surprise at all. No Daniel. You had Daniel Bryan get eliminated before number fucking 20 came out. Are you serious? And then you're in one of the most hostile environments in wrestling history, Philadelphia. And at that point, the crowd gave up. The crowd knew Roman Reigns was going to win the Royal Rumble. It was built totally wrong. Probably one of the worst built Royal Rumbles I've ever seen. Not throwing no shade on who won the match, because the right guy did win the match. But how it was put together from start to finish, it was terrible. You had El Torito in the Royal Rumble. You had Titus O'Neil come out at 28 to followed up by Dolph Ziggler at 30. Are you kidding me? It was totally built bogus. This Royal Rumble out, and to have Bubba Ray come out without no Devon at the Royal Rumble, come on, man, let's be real. That Royal Rumble from start to finish was built terrible. To put this year's Royal Rumble up against the last three before that, totally different story, totally different build, and it succeeded and was a lot better than those Royal Rumbles. Let's not forget the Royal Rumble that John Cena won, the most recent Royal Rumble that John Cena won, where he eliminated Ryback, the guy who was probably at the time one of the hottest faces in the company at the time, when you could have easily given him a world title shot. You have Cena go over him to match Rock at WrestleMania for the title, which people knew was going to happen anyway. You could have easily just given Ryback the shot at Alberto Del Rio for the title, and built a whole nother cosmic baby face that could have risen to the roof. But instead, Ryback ends up in a match with Mark Henry, which he loses, and his career went downhill from that point. At that point in John Cena's career, a Royal Rumble victory at that point wouldn't have hurt him or helped him at all. But to say, yeah, Triple H winning the Royal Rumble is a letdown, but it is not by far anywhere close to the worst Royal Rumble in recent history. But that easily goes to last year's Royal Rumble.
And it's crazy because last year's Royal Rumble, I enjoyed the awful lot, and I didn't want to see Roman win. I didn't hear the crowd reaction because I was actually watching on my iPad at a party, so it was kind of loud. But, I enjoyed the Bubba Ray spot. I may watch it again because I really enjoyed last year's. Like, I put last year's over this one, but that's to steal from our man shining down from us up in heaven, to steal from the legendary Bryan Meeks. That's why we agree to disagree, because I thought last year's was awesome. But this year's, I felt like, to steal some thunder from Brendan and another post I read, because I felt the same way, so I will give them their credit. I felt like this Rumble had more substance. Like, you leave, even you text me like your card for Mania already, which sounds like it could actually be. You left this Rumble with some ideas of where they're going, where unlike last year, you had no clue where they were going.
No clue at all.
You're like, okay, well, we know Roman has a shot. Who will be the champion? Because if I'm not mistaken, last year Royal Rumble, that was a triple threat between Seth Rollins, Brock Lesnar, and John Cena, right?
It started out as Brock versus Seth. Brock versus Roman, but Seth cashed in.
Yeah. See, so
that was the final result.
So I found this year to give us more substance. We got a picture painted for us. Like, even if it's not the whole picture, we got the canvas laid out for the Divas division. We know that Brock and the Wyatts are about to go to war. We know Roman is finna catch hell because Triple H is the champion and he will be the number one contender, and that will be a spot on Raw. Only thing you really didn't know for sure was where the tag team title was going. You know right? You know where Kevin Owens is going now. Kevin Owens is 9 out of 10 going to clash with AJ
and or Sami Zayn.
Yeah, but is Sami actually coming up, because Sami just made a challenge for the NXT title when he showed up there 2 weeks ago? So maybe Sami,
right. But he can also pull double duty like Kevin Owens.
Yeah, and same thing. So I think they're going to let Sami run this tear down there a little longer before they send him up, in my opinion. But
it's a possibility.
But with that being said, we seen some great things, and we came out with knowing what the future holds on this wonderful road to WrestleMania. Last night I was upset, and I said I would cancel my subscription. You guys know I love this shit too much to cancel. I just was a crying little bitch at the time, man. I was hot. We'll never cancel that shit, man. Too much shit on there. Beyond the Ring. I get to watch all these old fuckers when they were young. I get to watch some ECW, which if you lived in Detroit, you really didn't get much of. But I love this wrestling. I was very upset. Still am upset. Very disappointed at how, as a fan, I'm being treated with this product. But I will continue to keep watching, because it is some great talent there, and it is some great product at times. Man, as we about to wrap this up, we hit that hour mark like we tried to. Let everybody know what's going on, what's new with my man B. Loveless, sports guy in the Shy. Well, what you got coming in the future, brother?
Man, Shooting the Breeze will be back next week, guaranteed. It will be back live and direct next week, for sure, man. That's the number one project on my mind, man. We're taking this one take thing to the moon. You can give me a follow on Twitter at BLover247. That's it. That's all, man.
Yes, that would be a pre-Super Bowl edition. What better way to come back than Super Bowl week, man? One Take does things like that. There's no other way to come back than that. Super Bowl week, two guys, teams who didn't have a shot at the Super Bowl outside of starting off the seasons 0-0. Starting off, that was our last legit shot at any Super Bowl. You know it. You know it's the truth. Shout out to the whole One Take Podcast family. You know who you guys are. That's none other than my man right here on the mic with me, Bryan J. Loveless, is me, Mr. Dav1024 on the Twitter. Got to get my man Woods a shout out. Big up the big homie Woods, man. He got a show that just came out recently. And if you don't know, man, this young man has a wonderful voice. And he had a boxer. I don't remember the name because I listened to the show. But shout out to Woods. You can hit him up at E_PLURIBUS_Woods. Once again, that is E_PLURIBUS_Woods. Also, you can hit him up and check his shows out on One Take Podcast. Shout out to the man Chuck, one of the newest members. Shout out to Andrew for still sticking around. And thanks for everybody for pressing play. Y'all know what it is. This was the last man standing Iron Man edition of the Drop Top ToeHold. And this is your man B Dad from One Take Podcast. And we are out of here.
You're tuned in to a One Take
Podcast production.